So, is his name Bowler D261, Diesel 40, D471, or Class 40?
Stop it! Those are none of my names, okay?
Screw it, I'm just gonna go with Bowler. So, Bowler is a character. To everyone, he's just one of many mean diesels that gets what's coming to him, and that's sort of true. Just like old Stuck-Up, he shows up at the sheds, is rude to the engines, has an accident at the sheds. After Bowler made a fool of himself, he snuck away while no one was looking and never returned.
Bye, girls. Pair of wankers.
Oh, right.
And supposedly never returned in the case of the TV show and railway series. But what if there was one series of stories where he did return and changed his ways? Well, I'm here to tell you that there is. But first, let's talk about his origins. Everyone knows Bowler's origins, but I'll say it again. He arrived around the same time as Stepney and made a fool of himself. It's basically the exact same story as the railway series. One noteworthy difference is that in the TV series adaptation, Bowler is a real engine. This engine would be scrapped in 1983. So yeah, in the TV series, he's canonically dead. Bowler's model was on display at Drayton Manor theme park, but since the exhibition's relocation, it's unknown if he'll be returned or not. That's basically it for Bowler's origins. So now that that's out of the way, let's get to the fun part of the video.
Look at me. Now I'll show you something.
There have been several Thomas magazines printed around the world from 1987 onwards. These magazines have some very interesting things, like the characters Victor and Tortine, and of course, Bowler. Bowler appeared in a bunch of magazine stories, and seems to be a constant in these. Why? Here's what I think. Because in the show bio it states he works on the main line, or they mistook him for Derek.
Father! Father! There you are, Father.
Are you lads from the television?
Well, yes.
What, am I going to be on the telly?
Well, yes.
God, no, they're talking to do.
Anyway, Bowler had lots of appearances where he experienced growth and changed for the better, and I'm going to talk about some of them. In this, Bowler, who's called the Diesel in the magazines, is annoyed at the steam engine smoke and says that they should be scrapped, then gets his karma. Straight away, you can tell that he's not changed since Bowler, as he's still saying the engines should be scrapped. It's a fun little story, which I'm surprised no one has actually adapted. This is where things get interesting. Bowler is paired up with Bill and Ben in this story. After clearing the line, Bowler starts boasting and getting on the engine's nerves. Later that day, Bill and Ben are worried that they'll be replaced by the lorries. Then Bowler shows up and helps them out despite not liking steam engines. He's not gonna let the roads win. Do you think Bowler and Boldo would have helped Bill and Ben even if it meant beating the roads? I don't think so. This story shows real growth for the Diesel as he's finally starting to change his ways. Like the Dusty Diesel story was a wake-up call for him. In this story, Gordon is tasked with pulling a combine harvester. Bowler suggests that he helps out, but Gordon turns down the offer. But later, Gordon struggles and Bowler shows up and helps him deliver the harvester. And Gordon agrees that letting Bowler help was a good idea after all. This is the final story where Bowler is a lead, and it's a very good one. Bowler seems to have put his hatred of steam engines behind as he helps Gordon without hesitation. In The Big Hero, he helped because he didn't want the roads to win. But here, he did it out of the goodness of his heart. It seems like he even finally makes friends with Gordon here. After this story, with one exception, Bowler never says a bad word about steam engines and is never rude again. This was a great last lead role for Bowler, showing that he's now fully changed and now a true member of the Fat Controllers Railway. Bowler was nothing interesting. He didn't do anything noteworthy or anything important. But he's sort of like a diamond in the rough. I've never seen anyone talk about how Bowler changed in the magazine stories before. These 3 stories are kind of like a mini railway series book. Simplified, yes, but interesting, developing a character that was just one of many mean deeds that forgot what was coming. And that's why I call the magazine stories underappreciated. They did a lot of good for some of the characters, like Rosie and Boko, but I'll get to them. Is Bowler underrated? No, I wouldn't say so. I'd get why he's not a character you'd really care for, but it's interesting seeing how everyone remembers the story with the diesel breaking down and the steam engines taking his train, yet no one remembers the little growth he had in the magazines. He's certainly nowhere near being Sorrow's finest, but he's certainly a great example of how small characters can have big potential.